So you don't have a gimbal, no problem. In this video, I'll show you how to create gimbal-like shots that look cinematic using just your hands. No gear needed. I'll walk you through how to create smooth and dynamic camera movements just like the ones you saw at the beginning of this video. You'll learn techniques that you can use in your own videos no matter what smartphone you have. So stay tuned until the end to see the final results along with the behind the scenes clip so that you can see how it was made. Now, I do want to thank Artlist for sponsoring this video. They are a music licensing platform that provide high quality music and sound effects for your videos. More to them later. Now, throughout this video, I'll be using the iPhone 16 Pro Max. However, you can use any smartphone. Most of the principles applied are the same. So let me show you the camera settings that I'll be using. So head over to settings, then go to camera, then select record video. So the resolution I'm shooting in is 4K. This allows me to reframe the shot in case I didn't get the composition right, and 25 frames per second sort of gives me that cinematic frame rate. You can also use 24 frames per second, and this plays the video back in regular speed. Now, if you have very shaky hands, you can also record in 4K 60 frames per second and then slow down the clip in the edit to smoothen out any camera shakes. I also have enhanced stabilization enabled, which will further stabilize the video. Next up, I make sure to enable lock white balance. This will lock the white balance once I start recording. This way you won't have any color shifts in your video, which can be hard to fix in the edit. So let's head back and select formats, and then below you can see Apple ProRes. I have that enabled. This allows me to shoot in the highest quality possible. In the ProRes encoding, I select log. This gives me that flat picture profile, allowing me to have more flexibility in the color grading process. Now, it does take up a lot of space, so if you want, you can also record in the standard video mode. I've also enabled grid, which will help me set my composition, and I've also enabled level. This way I get this level bar, which I can look at to keep my horizon leveled. So I will be shooting with the default camera app. You can see we have our rule of thirds and we have our leveler, and we also have ProRes log enabled. We also have the right resolution and frame rate. Before you start recording, I like to tap hold on the screen until AEAF lock appears. This way the focus and exposure will stay locked. So when I tilt up the camera, you'll see no exposure shifts. And when I place my hand in front, you'll also have no focus changes. When I disable it, you can see as soon as I tilt up, we have a drastic exposure change. Now, the last thing I like to do is bring down the exposure value to -0.3. So to do that, I select the arrow, and then we have this plus and minus icon. When I select that, you get the slider, and I bring it down to -0.3. And I like to bring this down because the iPhone tends to overexpose the image. The first camera movement I created is a slide shot where I move the camera from left to right. Now, as a rule of thumb, I like to record at least 10 seconds before I stop the recording. And the way I like to hold the phone is by placing my left hand underneath and the right hand in the middle. This way I can create this 3-point contact, which results in steadier footage. Now, it's not always necessary to use your feet to create those camera movements, and by moving with my body instead of just my arms, this will also help make the footage look steadier. In this case, I used this pile of wood as foreground to emphasize camera movement. The next camera movement I created was a crane shot, and this is a bit more difficult to achieve as you have to position the camera low to the ground and then slowly lift it up while keeping the horizon leveled, as well as lifting up the camera at a constant speed. And the way I held the camera was like this, and then keeping my arms close to my body, and then I went into a squat position and slowly lifted my body up to create that crane shot. I've shot it in 4K 30 frames per second instead, which also helps smoothen out the footage a bit. Now, what is a video without good music? Music is key to setting the mood and making the viewer experience better. And music can really evoke emotions, create an atmosphere, and make storytelling more exciting. And that's why people say music is half the viewing experience. And by the way, the music used in this video is from Artlist, our sponsor of today's video. They provide a variety of high quality quality music and sound effects for your video projects. With their easy license, you can download as many songs as you want without worrying about copyright problems. I've been using Artlist since I started my YouTube channel, and what I love most is its simple interface that makes finding the right music quick and easy. You can filter your search by instrument, genre, mood, or video theme. If I want to find a song similar to what I like, I can do it with just one click. Plus, they offer playlists curated just for you. I even created my own YouTube music collection, which I can access and download anytime. Now, Artlist uses a subscription model, so you can access their entire music library and sound effects for a monthly or yearly fee, depending on what works for you. Now, as someone who makes videos regularly, having a dependable source of high quality music like Artlist has really helped me save time and improve my videos' overall quality. So be sure to check out Artlist by using the link in the video description below. You get an extra 2 months for free and 10% off the max plan. Let's now move on to the next one. So the sun's coming out, we do get a little bit of a different look, and for this next shot I created an orbit shot around the tree, and I used the leaves as foreground, and I also didn't lock focus and exposure because I wanted the camera to shift from the leaves and then back to the tree. For this shot, I just simply moved with my body as far as I could, and I also shot it in 30 frames per second so that I could slow it down a little bit to make the shot look steadier. So the next shot I created was a push-in shot where I moved the camera forward, and important when doing this move is to walk heel to toe, also known as the ninja walk. This way you will also avoid these up and down movements and produce steadier results. This path looked really nice. I even had a subject in the shot, which made it look more interesting. So for this next shot, I created a push out shot while rotating the camera at the same time. And we have this beautiful birdhouse that I used as my focal point. Now, this shot is definitely a bit more difficult to achieve handheld, so I would recommend shooting that in slow motion. And for me, it was easier to rotate inwards than rotate outwards. So choose what works best for you. And for this, I used the 1x lens and then walked backward heel to toe. Just be careful not to walk into something. So I discovered this little pond right behind me, and you can really see the reflection of the trees. So I wanted to have that in my video. And for this camera movement, I simply panned the camera up slowly using the 5x telephoto lens, and it does also a fairly good job of stabilizing the footage afterwards, and that resulted in a really interesting looking shot. And again, I moved with my body and not with my arms. So the next shot I did is not really a camera movement, but more of a static shot. However, you can add camera movement in the edit, such as a digital zoom, to fake that camera movement. And for that, I placed my phone on a flat surface and used some of the dead wood laying around to support the phone. And this allowed me to also include myself in the video and capture a wider shot of me walking around in the forest. So let's put together the shots, including the behind the scenes footage, so you can see how it was made. If you enjoyed this tutorial and want to learn more about filming cinematic videos with just your smartphone, Black Friday is just around the corner, and I want to give back to our amazing mobile video community. My online course is offering discounts of up to 70% on the ultimate smartphone filmmaking course. You can get it for just $49, which includes over 220 video tutorials, downloadable resources, and lifetime access to all current and future content. content. So don't miss out on this limited time offer. Click the link in the video description below and use the code SMARTFILM70 to get your discount. This offer is only valid until December 12th, so don't wait. I only do this once a year. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Take care and see you in the next one.